Eom Business Network. So much for one broadcast.
Hello there, very beautiful day to you, and thank you for joining us. You're watching the Eom Business Network, indeed the voice of corporate Nigeria. I am Olorogo Elkanah Mowari. Today on the program, we shall be taking a look at the Nigerian economy from the perspective of industry operators. Also on the lineup is Let's Talk, and we're looking at Renaissance Africa Company Limited and Orange One Finance Limited. On Spot On, we'll bring you Michelle Inyaga, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of FIFERTECH Group Limited, and Okechukwu Onyehara, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of BLOCHAUS Africa Limited. And on the face-to-face is an industry captain who needs little or no introduction, Hosseini Yakubu Omata, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Pine Quarters Limited. This is a must-watch. Stay with us. Research reports have shown that any country that desires capacity and quality to enhance productivity for economic growth and development must give adequate attention to human capital. Maria Nigeria Limited. Maria Nigeria Limited, IT consultancy services, data regulation and compliance. Maria Nigeria Limited, call us on our hotline 070-6242-8965. Dr. Karen Adasen is the Chief Executive Officer of EAGLEVISION Eye Care Center.
Glaucoma is a group of eye diseases that lead to the damage of the optic nerve head if not well managed. There are 4 types of glaucoma: the open angle glaucoma, closed angle glaucoma, normal tension glaucoma, and the pigmentary glaucoma. Regardless of the type of glaucoma diagnosed, the damage to the optic nerve head is actually the danger in glaucoma, because this is what leads to blindness. The risk factors of glaucoma include being of African descent, Asian descent, or being of the Hispanic descent. Having a family history of glaucoma is also very important. Being extremely nearsighted or farsighted, taking certain medications that fall into the corticosteroids group without a doctor's supervision, certain eye injuries to the eye, either of these can lead to glaucoma if it is not well managed. The month of March is dedicated to creating awareness on glaucoma every year. And this year, from the 7th of March to the 13th of March, we are offering a free pressure test to everyone that walks into our clinic between the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. because the world is very bright. Therefore, you need to save your sight.
Aderemi Adejumo is the Chief Executive Officer of CloudFlex Computing Services Limited.
The recent development is cloud computing, because cloud computing is the foundation. Without cloud computing, you can't do machine learning, you can't do artificial intelligence, you can't do Internet of Things. All these are things that make our everyday life easier and brings progress to us. Even when you talk of 5G, you can't do it without cloud computing. Every area, there's nothing new that you're talking about that does not have a leg with cloud computing in there. So that's what cloud computing is all about. That's all the new things that you have in technology. And by adopting these areas and using them, it just makes our lives so much easier, and it makes us able to sort of function better. And a lot of this thing are used. Individuals are using a lot of it. I'll give you a simple example. There's the prevalence of CCTV. So you find where people are looking at their children, looking at their houses, looking at their nannies and things like that. Again, you use cloud computing to be able to see, where you want to look at your house from your phone. You've got Ring technology. Ring technology allows that if somebody presses your doorbell, it alerts you on your phone no matter where you are in the world, and you can immediately see the picture of who's at your door and who's coming in, especially if you've got a young family at home and you just want to be reassured that they're safe, and you know who's coming to the door and who's talking to them.
Timothy Owasheye is the Chief Executive Officer of WONSIGNS Trial Limited.
It was registered in 2015. Since then, we've been involved in over 300,000 units in the Lekki axis of Lagos alone. Then we've been able to contribute immensely to the construction industry, especially estates in Lekki. Of course, we have been privileged to be part of the construction. Since then, we've had over 20 employees and part of success story. And since then, we'll be keeping on and we'll be doing well in the industry. Some of the reasons why we decided to be involved in the real estate sector is the fact that we wanted to bring in quality into the housing sector. And if you're actually familiar with the news, you discover that there was a time housing collapses everywhere and you cannot even actually figure the causes. And this was actually due to poor workmanship, lack of professionalism, which of course we are trying to bring it on board. And that's why all the units that we've been able to construct for the past 5 years, they actually speak for themselves because they are delivered with good quality and because professionals are actually involved. In WONSIGNS Trial Limited, we do designs, structural designs, mechanical and electrical designs, and we also build.
WONSIGNS Trial Limited. Building and engineering services, real estate development, mechanical and electrical services, general contractors. WONSIGNS Trial Limited. Call us now.
Welcome to SOLIDEDGE Facilities, where innovative engineering is the driving force. Our management and staff have several years of FM experience in industrial engineering, real estate, single or bundle contract services, hard services like HVAC, plumbing, bricklaying, building fabric, electrical design, install, maintenance, overhaul, construction, generator rental services, and much more. For more details, visit www.sefacilities.com.
Barrister Ejike Nwuba is the founder and chief executive officer of Renaissance Africa Company Limited.
It was actually a vision that God gave to me 10 years ago. I was working with a prominent law firm. You might have heard of Chief Richard Akinjide, SAN. So I was one of the top lawyers there. I have always known that litigation was not what I was going to do. I knew that from day one. And I always had that determination to be an entrepreneur, establish businesses and add my own quota to the development of our economy and all that, and management consulting, which I did not know much of as at the time I started. I believe so much in personal development, so I developed myself, improved myself, and learned from a lot of mentors, books, and so seminars, and so on and so forth. So that was essentially why we started. So our vision is to develop our human capital, just a new force for our continent, through the development of our rich human capital, because as far as we are concerned as an establishment, that's the key to our greatness. Because you look at countries like Italy, Singapore, South Korea, they don't really have much in terms of natural resources, but they're among the wealthiest nations in the world. But here in Nigeria, we have everything. Singapore has nothing. So they don't have much in terms of natural resources, but they are among the richest and most influential. And the reason is that we have not invested in our people. Great people build great nations. That's the way it works. We render different kinds of training programs. We render open courses. We are partners with Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We also render open courses there. We'll have a couple next week. And we also render in-house training programs for several of our clientele, so many companies. The new program that we are launching this year is the Making of Champions course. So it took me 10 years to put this book together. It's 300 pages and it has 40 of the world's most compelling biographies in it. So the whole idea is to help young people at a young age to find themselves, because you realize that people go through the whole hog of formal education up until tertiary institution, they graduate, they go for youth service, before they begin to ask themselves what they are going to do with their lives. But in the developed world, it is not like that. Some parents help their children to discover what their strengths are and encourage them to develop it.
This is Enoch Fem Nigeria Limited. Enoch Fem Nigeria Limited, real estate consultant, property manager, general contractor, real estate developer. Enoch Fem Nigeria Limited. Call us now. Iyobosa Iyamu is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Orange One Finance Limited, a subsidiary of Investment One.
Orange One Finance is a subsidiary of Investment One. Orange One Finance was licensed in 2016 to operate as a finance house in Nigeria, licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. We commenced our operations January 2017. We've been out there funding for retail businesses and for individuals, SMEs specifically. Our vision as a business is to become the leading provider of financial solutions to SMEs and individuals in Africa. Our mission as a business is to deploy world-class financial services and appropriate technology in helping our customers achieve their financial goals. By this, we have come up with products customer-tailored, and we've come up with technology platforms that are customer-focused, so we can be able to reach our customers and provide them with the products that speaks to their financial aspirations. We provide quite a number of services for the SMEs. In the SME space, we have products like invoice discounting, product this speaks to debt factoring, we have working capital, we have asset finance, we have LPO finance. We have quite a number of contractors in Nigeria providing services for the big organizations, the big firms and the multinationals. We support their operations by financing many of the LPOs. We have a website, www.orangeonefinance.com, where you will find information about Orange One. We have information on all our products there. You can buy our products, you can register as a prospective customer of Orange One on the platform. Go there now, www.orangeonefinance.com.
We are called Midas Real Estate Limited. Midas Real Estate Limited, building construction, road construction, finishes, signages, partitioning, glasswork, roofing constructions, cladding design, interlocking design, and many more. Midas Real Estate Limited, your one-stop real estate solutions provider. Michelle Inyaga is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of FIFERTECH Group.
Primarily, FIFERTECH Group comprises of Fountain Prime, Property Development Company, KELKEY Pharmaceuticals Limited, Omara Cosmetics, Cryptase Solutions. Now, Fountain Prime pride ourselves with building classy, contemporary smart homes, which are quite affordable and luxurious financial solutions to our client base. Sectors of the world economy have moved on, but then Nigeria will tend to still be a bit analog in such sectors. So for the few companies or for the few individuals who have required such integration into their operations, we offer them the services through Cryptase Solutions Limited. Vision of FIFERTECH Group Limited is to have a stake in the future by creating it. We believe that human beings determine the future. The future doesn't determine itself. So therefore, all our operations and through all our subsidiaries will offer futuristic solutions that solve problems for residents which they probably haven't encountered yet. Also, with respect to some of our cosmetic beauty solutions which we offer through Omara Cosmetics, these are solutions that very limited or more or less very few cosmetic companies have available to their clients worldwide. But we're able to come up with adapted solutions that treat specific beauty concerns, all aimed and geared towards giving the African man and woman that beautiful touch and handsome touch, bringing it out to the fore so that the world can see it. So, in terms of our mission, in terms of how far we've achieved it, sincerely, I would say we've barely scratched the surface, and that's because, well, I tend to, as a person, hold myself to the highest standards. Whatever the brain conceives, the brain can achieve.
Welcome to FIFERTECH Group. FIFERTECH Group, call us now. REFTOP Homes Limited. REFTOP Homes Limited. Call us now. REFTOP Homes. It's all about properties. We are called Orange One Finance Limited. At Orange One Finance Limited, our corporate vision is to become the leading provider of financial solutions to SMEs and individuals in Africa. And our mission is to deploy world-class financial services and appropriate technology in helping our customers achieve their financial goals. Orange One Finance Limited. Call us now. Position and reposition yourself for sustainable peace of mind. You cannot continue with this landlord-tenant fight. Oh yes. Uzi Realtors Limited. Call us now on our premium numbers 080-6250-0714, 090-5360-3064. Uzi Realtors Limited. Your peace of mind. Oke Chukwu Onyehara is the Chief Executive Officer of BLOCHAUS Africa.
We commenced operations in August 2017, and in the same year we launched our first project, which was Palm Island, somewhere around the Dangote refinery, just about 8 kilometers to the Lakapan Tropicana. In 2018, March to be precise, we launched our second project, which is a 103 service plots estate, 4 wings estate. In the same year, in 2018, November, we launched our third project, which is the 5 Oaks, and actually placed us on the national map. According to reports that we've garnered, it is on the 4th most expensive road in Lagos State, which is the Lekko Beach Road, considering the value of properties along these two sides. It hasn't been an easy journey providing leadership for a company such as BLOCHAUS, because our internal structure initially was very small and we couldn't meet up with kind of demands that were made on us at that time. But right now we're good. Our vision is to create captivating places from, bare land, and to what extent that we have achieved. Our mission also is that we're trying as much as possible to reduce the housing deficit in the country. Nigeria actually needs at least 21 million houses. Most governments have promised to deliver between 400,000 to 600,000 in the next 4 years, which means that as the housing deficit is increasing in geometric progression, the houses to actually meet this deficit are actually moving in arithmetic progression. It never matches at any point in time. So our mission is to try as much as possible to provide affordable housing in the country for people. And to what extent that we have achieved that, okay, we have about 300 subscribers to our project, and to an extent I think we've taken a part of these problems and provided solutions to it. BLOCHAUS does just two things: development and infrastructure. Infrastructure for third-party clients like subsoil drainages, street lights, street cameras, perimeter fences, and even we actually provide turnkey projects for third parties. But in-house, all we do is just development, housing development. The real estate sector, I think, is the only working sector in the country at this time, in the sense that most other financial investments have failed, like treasury bills, what the debt management office is trying to do with treasury bonds, treasury bills and all. Fixed deposits is currently at a mess. The only sure viable investment that you can probably have at this time is the real estate sector. Though there's a little risk in it, risk of having your due diligence done on the property you want to purchase, but aside that, real estate industry is booming at this time. More so because of the COVID-19 issue. About 80% of sales right now in the real estate industry are actually from diaspora. Nigerians are actually not buying, and even if they will buy at an installment plan or payment plan. But these people overseas, due to the succor that their government gives to them, they're actually buying. A lot of funds are being repatriated back to this country, and it's getting into the real estate sector. Last year, the real estate sector did 1.8 billion naira in terms of real estate sales. So I think it's a huge market that has not even been tapped. I think I would attribute it to demand. There are not many decent houses out there, in the sense that most of the houses that are being provided are actually turning into slums. So people now have a better knowledge about what housing should be, or a proper housing should be. So demand is what is actually driving the real estate industry at this time. There's a huge demand that the markets might not even be able to meet at this point.
This is BLOCHAUS Africa. BLOCHAUS Africa. Real estate, development, infrastructure. Call us now on our hotline 070-576-33333. Welcome to Pine Quarters. Prime Quarters. Call us on our premium number 070-5956-9958. Pine Quarters, real estate at your doorstep. Hussaini Yakubu Omata is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Pine Quarters.
Pine Quarters is an indigenous and versatile real estate company registered with the Company Allied Matters Act of Nigeria, that is the CAC. It has been in existence for over 3 years, but we launched on the 16th of December 2020, and we have our first product at Lakwe Town, Doshoru, Phase 2, near Lagasa. Our vision actually is to be one of the best real estate firms, as a matter of fact, to be a pan-African real estate company. Our mission is to make real estate seamless, bringing it to everybody's doorstep, making everybody that desire to be a landlord in Lagos, Nigeria, be a landlord, making that dream come true for all of them. So that's our vision and mission. Pinesville Estate is at Lakwe Town, Loshoru, Phase 2, near Lagasal, and it's a fine location, just less than 2 minutes from Lekki Express Road. Apart from the gatehouse and perimeter fence that we are going to do, first of all, we'll put the layout on the ground, and when the layout on the ground, it means that you are set to go. Then we'll do an interlock road, the drainage, we'll bring in lights, street lights, then portable water, then a standby electricity. Basically, that is the standard that we are bringing into Pinesville Estate. Also, the real estate sector is running on a very speedy lane. Well, as a matter of fact, we're on a fast track in real estate in Nigeria, because when I started about 10 years, 11 years ago, it wasn't this lucrative, it wasn't this sparkling. There's this enthusiasm that comes with it now. You see everybody doing real estate. When we started, what we have most are buyers. Now both buyers have turned into sellers.
So they tend to give those bigger farmers the loans.
They applied as a lipstick, like I'm wearing now.
Shipping went high, the cost of products skyrocketed, manpower increased.
And that's a good point to call it a wrap on today's package of the EOM Business Network. Thank you very much for spending your valued time with us. We hope it was worth your while. But just in case you missed out on any aspect of it, then you can come with us to any of our other portals, as you can see on the screen. Our sincere gratitude to you, our sponsors, for your continued interest and support. Always remember, with you and us, we are champs. Oh yes, I remain Olorogo Elkanah Moare. Please, let's do this again, same time, same channel next week. We'll see you then.